Noah here with the One Night Out YouTube channel. I hope to earn your subscription today with this video because it's going to be a good one. We are currently under a atmospheric river winter weather advisory where they are forecasting about 6 to 12 inches of snow above 3,500 feet. And we're currently heading up to 3,500 feet for a quick overnight adventure. I am super excited for this trip. I've been waiting for this all year. I've got all my correct gear. I've got all my rain gear, winter gear. I've got a new 0 degree sleeping bag that I'm really excited to try out. And we're just gonna have a great time. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I've got about another 45 minutes or so of driving before we get to where we need to be. I'm gonna get the tarp set up basically immediately when we get there, and I'm gonna do my best to film it, but I can't get my camera gear and everything soaked, so we will make do and go from there. But I do really appreciate everyone tuning in, and stick around because this video is going to be awesome. Got some trees down from yesterday. That's ominous little feeling. We made it, everyone. It is pouring right now. It's about 40 degrees and it's about noon. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting the tarp set up so we have some shelter and we can keep dry. I'm gonna do my best to film this portion, but I can't get all my camera gear soaked. I do have the camera equipment under a umbrella right now, so it's fine, but I don't want to get my microphone all wet. So I'm gonna hang it up on the camera and I'll do my best. But otherwise, I'll bring you guys back once I have the tarp set up. Yeah, thanks for sticking around and let's have some fun. I'm gonna start getting the tarp set up, guys, and after that, I'll feel a little bit better about the situation, but I got the tarp all set up here. I think it's about time we get our tent going, get that set up. We'll get all of our sleep stuff, everything put in the tent, and then we'll get our chair set up, and then we can make some coffee and enjoy the area a little bit. I think I'm gonna just relax, take it easy. I've got some ramen that I'm gonna make for lunch that I'm really looking forward to. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the tent set up. It is starting to snow, which is pretty nice. I don't know if anything's gonna stick on the ground. I think the weather forecast I don't think it was right. I don't think we're gonna get as much snow as forecasted, but either way, we're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna get my tent out of here. Anything else I need? Let's see what I packed in here because I don't quite remember. I brought my OneTigris Stella 4-person or 4-season 2-person tent, and I also brought, I've got my chair in here, my little table, my mesh fire pit, I've got a trash bag packed in here, and then I've got some extra isobutane because I like to carry some extra, especially in the winter, because you never know. You never know. So we got the tent here. I'm gonna go ahead and leave everything else in there for now. Got the chainsaw in here, some Duraflame logs, all kinds of stuff. So there's the tent, and then in here I have the footprint for the tent. Really the only thing these things do in the winter is keep the bottom of your tent from getting super muddy, but you know, at the end of the day, everything's gonna get soaked, covered in pine needles, but that is part of the fun. I live in an apartment, so every time I go out, I have to take my tent and the footprint and the tarp basically into the shower with me, rinse everything off, hang everything up. I put everything in my second small bathroom. I put a huge dehumidifier in there, and I just let it run for 24 hours and just let everything dry off. But, you know, it's the way she goes when you come out here. Poke my eye out. All right, tent's all set up. All right, we got the tent set up. We've got rainfly staked down. Everything's looking pretty good here. I'm going to start getting my sleeping bag and all that stuff put in there. And then, whew, out of breath. And then we can finally relax. But yeah, this was quite the setup. I'm gonna start grabbing like my sleeping bag, my pad, my Exped mat. I'm gonna get all that blown up, set up in there, close it up, and then it's finally time to relax. Next is gonna be, ooh, I keep clotheslining myself on that thing. Next, we got my Exped deep sleep mat and air pump. So let's get all that good to go here. Pull up my pants so you don't have to look into my butt crack. Alrighty, starting to sweat, which means I need to slow down a little bit, but we went ahead and we got our tent all set up here. I've got my Paria sleeping bag in there, my Nemo pillow, my little Teton camp pillow, my Exped deep sleep mat, and a closed cell foam pad on top. But that should complete the inside of the tent sleep system setup for now. Let's make sure we close that because all right, that is good to go. Looking good. I'm pretty dry aside from my rain gear being wet, but I am pretty dry, all things considered. It's just a fine mist coming down right now. So I'm going to clean up and organize a little bit here, set up the chair, double check everything tarp wise, make sure everything's fine, and then we'll have some coffee, because I don't know about you, but I sure could use a cup. All right, so let's get our probe thermometer out. I'm gonna go ahead and put that right there. Let it kind of adjust. I also have another one for inside the tent. So hang on to that for now. I got my lights in here. In here, we've got the chair and my mesh fire pit here that I had on my last trip. This thing is awesome. Got Duraflame logs because everything is soaked. I figure we'll get the fire going. If I feel like it, I can throw on some wet wood and it will burn eventually, but regardless, we got the Duraflame logs, so we're gonna have a fire tonight. And I've got my axe that I got for my birthday from a buddy of mine, and he had it commissioned just for me. Custom made hatchet. Isn't that cool? So I brought this for like delimbing branches and whatnot. And then I've got my maul that I've been using as a hammer and for splitting wood. But I don't think I'm going to need that right now, so I'm just going to leave it in there, along with, I've got this camp table also. Haven't decided if I'm going to use it or not. Sometimes I feel like I just have enough gear set up and it stresses me out because all I can think about is all the crap I have to put away in the morning. So we'll think about this one. It's just another thing to deal with. And then I've got extra isobutane canisters in here and a bag for trash. So now that we have everything out of here, let's get this out of our way and put it in the back seat. Got a little system going here that I follow every time. What else do I have in here? I've got a wool blanket just in case I get chilly. I might put this in the tent now, but I think I'm just going to leave it back here for now. And then in this bag here, I've got an extra air pump. I got a battery jump start pack for the Subaru, just in case, especially with the cold weather. I don't want to take any chances. I got my Maul here. This thing is a beast. And firearm here, trash bag, and then we've got our food bag here. This is coffee, spices, some energy bar type things, some creamer, some various snacks. In here, I've got my cook kit, my fire kit, more isobutane, my Toke 750 ml pot. Got a kettle in here in case I want to make some like real coffee, but I'll probably just stick to instant coffee today, so we'll leave those there. In here is like my electronics bag. I've got my light, tent light here, which I'm gonna go ahead and throw in. This is the light I've been using to shoot video. And let's go ahead and set this light up so the footage isn't so grainy. Got this little tripod here that I use for the light. So let's get this going here. Get some lumens going. I think that is everything out of here. I do have a bear spray. I also have an air horn, so that should be good. Other than that, that's about it in this bag. So let's go ahead and put this away. Also have some hand warmers I brought just in case. I might throw those in the tent later. In my sleeping bag, got 2, 4, 6 hand warmers. I think we're only gonna need 4. And let's get this backpack put in the back seat so we have a little more kitchen area. Okay. And then this bag is the bag I keep all my stakes that I use for my rain tarp. I've got the empty bags for my tarp poles in here, some extra cordage, and we're just put that off to the side. Hand warmers, we might want those later, and the tent. So let's go ahead and get our chair set up. Really like this chair. Simple, but very comfy. Now, take this rain jacket off. Rain jacket. Ugh, can't talk today. I don't know about you guys, but I sure could use a cup of coffee, so I'm gonna make one of those. And then I think I earned the right to sit in my chair for a little while and enjoy the sound of the rain hitting the tarp. And relax. Yeah, we did it. This is my fire kit. It's got some of those fire plugs, my pocket bellows, 2 lighters, and some a ferro rod. Toke's pot here. I got my titanium spoon. I've also got a wind guard in there for the stove, which I haven't needed. In here is my Toke's 750 milliliter pot and my Kovea spider stove, which I love this thing. This is such a cool stove. I really like it. So we'll put that back in there, that in there. I pretty much just I try really hard to stay organized while I'm out here. Everything goes back where it came. Comes the rain. Work. Let's get some coffee out here. Go with one of these Maxin 3-in-1s. I think it's like a South Korean coffee, but it's pretty good. I like it. Nothing better than a nice cup of coffee under a tarp. First winter trip of the year. I had some issues with the tarp. I'm not very good at setting up the tarp, but practice makes perfect. This will hold up just fine as long as we don't get those like 40, 50 mile an hour gusts that they were predicting. Apparently a atmospheric river storm. We generally don't get heavy rain like this. Finding a spot have our fire is going to be tricky. I had to set the tarp up pretty low since we were expecting wind, so I can't have the fire underneath it. But this Duraflame log should burn in the rain. Today we're having my favorite. This is like a Japanese yakisoba that I got on this site called Yami. It's kind of like an Asian grocery store online. Crazy fast shipping, but it's mustard mayonnaise ramen, and it sounds weird, but it's actually really good. It's kind of become my new tradition for camping here. Have one of these. So let's go ahead and crack this open here. All right. Yeah, this ramen's pretty good. Like seasoning packet here. There's like this little mustard mayonnaise deal, and then this mystery black liquid. But all this stuff is just really good. I usually open these ahead of time, set them down, spill them. So this time we're gonna leave them sealed, and we'll be just fine. I'm not gonna spill anything this time. Go ahead and pour that in there. Dump out the extra, and we'll put that right there, and we're gonna let it kind of sit for a few minutes, and then we'll mix in this packet and put this on top. Oh, and the little powdery thing, MSG, whatnot. I don't eat like this all the time, only when I come out here. But yeah, looking pretty good. All right, our noodles should be done. It's got this little drain thing here, so you can just pour out the water. Okay. Then you top it up with mayo mustard combo thing. Squirt that all over the top here. All right, let's go over to our chair, eat our lunch, chill for a little bit. I'll tell you guys what happened to me yesterday when I came out here. It's only a little embarrassing, but I came out here yesterday and I realized that I had forgotten my tarp poles. I've got 2 green elephant poles and then 2 like off-branders that I got on Amazon, and I forgot all of them. So I'm like, all right, this is gonna suck, but I'm gonna make do. So I set up the tarp and I staked, I put two ends on these trees here, one to the car and then one to this big tree right over here. And then I went and found a really tall branch that I could use for a center pole here. It did work all right.
And then I'm like, oh, let me move the car back around a little bit and put the car into the tarp. Got in the car, started it up, drove off a couple feet, and of course I had the one end of the tarp tied to the roof rack, so I ripped my whole tarp in half basically. I knew right then and there, I'm like, I have to go home. I don't have a tarp, I don't have any rain protection, so I mean, it was kind of dangerous if I stayed. So I went home, hopped on Amazon, reordered the tarp, bought another one. And luckily it said 4 to 8 a.m. shipping. So it got here this morning, and I came back out and tried it again. But I think I paid $99 for the tarp, and with all the tariffs and the inflation and everything, it was $129. So that was quite an expensive mistake. I was pretty pissed at the time, but you know, it happens. It was a mistake, and I was talking to my family, and they're like, you know, it happened for a reason. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be, and it prevented something bad from happening. So yeah, that's the way I'm trying to look at it, and all is well, no big deal. A very costly mistake, though. I'm not using my microphone, so I hope you guys can hear me. Trying to speak loudly. My microphone is currently charging up, so. Log here. I've been looking forward to this trip for a couple weeks. I was actually in New York visiting my partner's family. Her cousin just had a baby, and we wanted to go visit and say hello, but because of that I wasn't able to come out last weekend. We went from Friday to Thursday, so I got back Thursday. And I came out here yesterday, like I said, ripped the tarp, had all kinds of mishaps. Basically forgetting these poles was the doozy. gonna give myself a little credit though. I was jet lagged and wasn't all there. I'm glad I came back out. Glad I reordered the tarp. I got the exact same one. And hopefully we don't burn it today. So far, so good. Alright guys, I'm going to enjoy this fire for a little while. Check the weather report. And I'm just going to relax. Enjoy some alone time. And then I'll bring you guys back when it gets dark, when we're getting ready for dinner. But right now I'm just going to be sitting around the fire. I'm probably going to sit here for at least an hour or two. I think it's probably about 4:30. It gets dark around 5:30 or so. So we'll cook up some dinner. We will eat that and enjoy a little more time around the fire. And I think I'm going to turn in pretty early. I want to get up at a decent hour and have enough time to unpack all this stuff and have enough time to get all this stuff cleaned up when I get home and unwind, because I've got to go back to work on Monday. It's always hard after having a week off work. There's a good amount of heat coming off this thing now, so I'm going to enjoy it and not film for an hour or two, because it is a decent amount of work, and I want to make sure I have a little bit of time to relax as well. And this is just kind of boring. I'm just going to be sitting here, so I will be back in a little while. I really love this tent. It's cozy, it's warm in the winter, it doesn't leak at all, and it's just a good tent for these type of conditions. Over here, I got the trusty Subaru. Got some good tires on there now. I've got my tarp set up, fire going underneath, line here to the Subaru, line there, and then over here I've got a line going here to that tree. I've got another line going to that pole, and over here we've got another line down here, and then another line on that pole. It's a pretty cool sight. Pretty cool sight. As you can see, it's just flooded everywhere here. It has not stopped raining. And then under my tarp here, I've got my fire pit, burning a Duraflame log. And I did throw on these pieces of oak that someone left here. Definitely firewood someone purchased. And I got my chair. Got a light there, which I probably should turn on. Tripod. Let's get a little illumination going here. But yeah, I'm gonna
go ahead and sit down, but we are looking good. Fire's pretty nice, warming me up. I just threw this on there so I could get maybe a little bit of coals going at the bottom, put off a little bit more heat, but I'm not trying to burn a hole in my tarp. So I need to keep this fire small tonight. And I do have another Duraflame log in the car if I need one, but I think we should be fine. It's almost 6 o'clock. Check and see that we're not gonna cook ourselves in here. I did not think it was going to rain this much. But yeah, I think I'm going to get some dinner going. I'm going to move the camera over to the Subaru area and let's make some food before it gets too late. Next time I need to bring a towel. I don't know if I'm gonna have breakfast in the morning. I usually don't eat breakfast, and might just have coffee tomorrow morning and protein bar or something. I brought a biscuits and gravy from Mountain House, but I might save it.
Seemed like I added too much water, but I think it'll be fine. All right, let that sit. Open it up in 5 minutes, stir it up, close it back up, 4 more minutes, and then Bob's your uncle. What's funny about that term is I actually have an uncle named Robert, so look at the steam coming off my clothes. Cold. But I do think it is about time to get inside our tent. I'm going to do that in the next few minutes. Whew. Scope. All right, I'm gonna start buttoning up some things. Gotta get a few things ready that I'm gonna bring inside my tent. I always bring my bear spray in there, my air horn, my firearm. I've got like a toiletry type bag with all that stuff in there. And my electronics bag, which has like my air pump. I've got a third USB battery charger. I've got my headlamp in there. Little light I like to use inside the tent. Just has a nice relaxing warm light. Water and my pee bottle. It wouldn't be winter camping if you didn't piss in a bottle. I just, it's not worth getting wet and having to put your shoes back on and everything. Just pee in a bottle. Just don't mix it up. Alright, so I'm going to enjoy this fire for a few more minutes. Get some things ready for bed, and then hop in the tent and bring you guys back. Well, I am in the tent and relatively dry. It didn't leak, but we definitely got a lot of like condensation in here. My pad is wet because it was touching the edge of the tent, so I do have some water coming in, but should be fine. Things definitely got a little bit wet in here, but I mean, what do you expect? It was crazy rain. But, you know, is what it is. Nothing's like wet, it's just a little bit damp. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself comfortable and relax. I've got, what do I have in here? Keys, my electronics bag, and my rain jacket in here, my gloves, my beanie. I'm wearing this wool shirt, which is 100% dry. I've got my toiletry bag here and my water. I've got a wool long sleeve shirt if I decide to put that on if I get cold. But everything touching the side of the tent got a little bit wet, but we're not like dripping or anything, so we should be good. This was a nice test of this tarp, but tarp, rain fly. Yeah. I've gotten a little bit more organized in here. Definitely had an issue with where I set up the tent today. The ground here just is completely saturated. So even though the tent's not leaking, there's water in here. Like it's like the side of my pad here is a little wet from where I had it up against the door here. But other than that, we're doing okay. I went ahead and put on my wool base layer here and my down jacket over it, and I think I'm going to sleep in that tonight. It's only about 8 o'clock, but I mean, I didn't really feel like just sitting around in front of the fire to keeping it going. I'd rather just get in my tent and relax. I'm gonna watch a movie here pretty soon. I do want to finish up a couple things I was watching. Well, this has been a good trip. For my first like solid winter camping adventure, I think I did all right. I stayed dry. I think we're through the bulk of the storm. I think we probably got 2.5 inches of rain from when I got here to now. No snow yet. It's about 36 degrees. Hope we get some though. It'd be cool to wake up to a little bit of snow on the ground, but I don't think so. I think it's just gonna sleet a little later, and if it does snow, I don't think it's gonna stick. But yeah, man, next time I need to be a little more aware of where I'm setting up the tent. And, be a little more selective with the spots I pick and choose. But yeah, as you can see, you get a little condensation here, and it did get a little bit wet here, but my bag's dry, and I'm definitely not going to be cold tonight. I'll be all right. I've got the hand warmers too if I want to throw some of those in there, but it's a 0 degree down bag, and it's comfort rated to 0 also, so I might actually be too warm, but it was a good day. I had fun. But yeah, really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm getting pretty tired. It was a long day, but we did it. The rain is so nice to listen to. I am quite warm in this bag, maybe even a little bit too warm. I've got a couple of those hot hand warmers in my pockets. And yeah, this is nice. Excuse me. I'm leaving my socks on, my wool socks. I've got my wool base layer on. I'm still wearing my Fjällräven pants. And then I got my puffer jacket here and wool base layer. I took off my wool shirt, but I can always put that on later if I get cold, but I should be fine. I just checked the thermometers. It is 42 degrees inside the tent and 35 degrees outside. 100% humidity, obviously, but
I expect this rain to turn to snow in the next couple of hours. And yeah, we might wake up to some snow on the ground. At the least, it's going to be icy, and you know, the drive home will be a little hairy. There were a couple downed trees on the way up here, and it looked like someone had cut them in half with a chainsaw and moved them to the side of the road. But yeah, here's hoping there isn't any more, because that wind sure is picking up. And yeah, we'll see. I do have the chainsaw with me for emergencies like that, but that wind is ripping tonight. I'm not sure what I want to watch, but I have a little bit of cell service here, oddly enough. I think because we're just so high that I get a little bit of LTE. So I think I'm gonna find a movie to watch and relax. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. If we get something crazy happening later tonight or some crazy winds, I will bring y'all back. Or if it starts to snow, I might have to go peek out and take a look if I wake up for it. But if not, we'll see what the morning looks like. I'm really excited. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed, and thank you all for being here. I'll see you guys in the morning. It is still raining out. I just checked the temperature. It is 33 degrees. So it should start snowing pretty soon. I'm not sure if it's going to stick on the ground. I think that is coming later on in the week, but it'll probably be snowing when we're packing up. I set my alarm for 5:50, and that'll give me time to pack up everything in here and be able to get out of the tent by sunrise, because it's going to be a really nice one to look at. And we'll slowly start putting away gear while we get our coffee ready and eat breakfast, unless it's crazy windy in the morning, and then I'll probably have to pack up a little quicker than I would like. But yeah, I mean, one of the main reasons why I started this channel was, you know, to inspire others to come out here if this is something that they're interested in. I really want to go into detail soon about my reasonings and why I come out here. It's just something my body needs right now, and my mind, and it's been a huge self-esteem and confidence booster for me to get out here and do this by myself. And yeah, it's just really helped my mental health like tenfold. So I can't be the only one. So I need to start making these videos and showing everyone that it doesn't take a lot of money. You can do it with inexpensive gear, and you'll be fine. Like, you'll really enjoy it. So it's really happy for me to be able to show you what setup I'm using and what works for me, and yeah, just kind of inspire you guys to get out there. All right. I am off to bed now, guys. I will see you all in the morning. Good morning, everyone. I didn't sleep all too well. I think I got about 5.5 or 6 hours of sleep. I stayed up a little too late, but it's okay. I'm just getting everything packed up inside the tent here, and then I'm gonna step outside and see what things look like and start getting things put away. I'm gonna make a cup of coffee and start winding down. I got the sleeping bag packed up already. I just need to do the pad, and then we'll get outside the tent and take a look. I don't think it snowed that much last night, but it is currently 32 degrees. So I think we're getting a little bit of freezing rain, but I'm gonna continue to pack up here, and as soon as I'm a little more awake and alert and ready to make some coffee, I will bring you guys back. But otherwise, good morning, and it's gonna be a good day. So it did snow a little bit last night. There is some snow on the ground, which is really nice. This is really nice to wake up to. It is still snowing, but yeah, it's just a nice little dusting. It's the road up here. Yeah, got a little bit of snow. My peaceful hideaway for the evening. It was nice. I really enjoyed it. But for now, I'm gonna continue to unload stuff out of the tent, bring it over to the car, get it slightly organized, and then I'm gonna take the tent down, make some breakfast, basically just coffee, I think, and then we're gonna take this tarp down and we'll be out of here. But I'll be back once I have a little coffee in me. I got the tent put away, the tarp put away. I went around the site and picked up any trash that other people have left here, so it is cleaner than the way I found it. Still snowing. Nothing better than the first sip of coffee in the morning, especially out here. Made it too hot as usual. Someone's not happy I'm here. Squirrel. I've camped here a few times in the summer, and it's pretty funny. They end up like throwing a bunch of acorns down at me in the morning. It's pretty cute, but they're like, "Get out of my home, go home." Oh. Snow all up in here. Very pretty. Very pretty in the morning. To drive home, but other than that, I'm gonna head home, clean up all this gear, and get it ready for the next adventure next Friday. I really appreciate you guys being here and coming along on this trip with me. This has been a blast, and I am so excited for more adventures together. We're gonna have a really good winter, and stay tuned for the next video. Again, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Please give me a thumbs up and a subscription if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.